some gold after some of the shenanigans up in the top lane and in the jungle. And, you know, as long as they just lock it down and that doesn't happen, I think that Gen.G should still be in a pretty good spot. But if things go pretty even, or Fred and Breon are at least able to get some kind of a lead, that late game is still going to be very scary. You can imagine Skarner finding anyone and then Tristana just blowing them up. And you've got that really nice front-to-back comp that seems to be very comfortable for Fred and Breon once again.
And one thing that, despite all the shortcomings that we've talked about a lot with Fred and Breon, where the early game isn't the greatest, they often give up too much and then can't really recuperate. One thing I do love is how consistent they are with these drafts. The draft always feels like it has a very clear game plan. Of course, that's a bit easier when you basically draft Team Z. He's not the worst, but it's not where he excels. It's currently 3.5 minutes in game, and he's not even going to get the scuttle.
They're looking to try to engage onto Ruler, though. This level 2 spike for the Tristana Alistar is going to be enough, it looks like, unless some kind of heal comes through. Flashing through, and the first blood will go the way of Delight. Henna is behind enemy lines now, as headbutted in was the Nidalee straight for the kill. That was the best look, as now Delight is going to also meet his own fate, as they were really looking to try to challenge at the Scuttle Crab, trying to get something desperately done for their Skarner, but advantage of Cloud Souls. But enough memeing, we do actually have some League of Legends here, some fighting over this blue buff, as Life is just one angry gargoyle, and Umti did not respect him. I mean, he literally just ran straight forward at you, and there was essentially no escape once you got hit.
It's still growing, and the 50 minutes, a free K gold lead, a little bit more even, is nothing to scoff at.
Did he? He actually got that.
Oh, baby.
They need to be doing well in their lanes. As the first, no, oh wow, no impale. Are we gonna? Okay, we got it. We got the impale onto the Galio. He finally did it. Is that gonna be the win in the team fight, though? It looks like. I suppose so. I mean, they lost their turret, but they did get a kill.
I think the problem here, though, is that as Fred and Breon, you can't contest this Drake. That's going to be soul points as...
compared to last game where the Tristana ended up 13-0. So
that's a big difference.
Very difference. Oh! He gets the impale! He found the angle! And they do have the damage eventually. He was taken very far into the enemy jungler. And he finally got it done once again.
Want to try and get through the beefy boys, the Sign, the Skarner, and the Light, as we see Baron go so quickly here.
Yeah, they know this is happening now, but it might just be a little too late. As the smite comes down, as it looked like it came in at 66 health. So he's done some stuff, you know. He's actually found some nice angles already that, you know, in a game like this, we wouldn't even blame you if you found nothing, right? We would just be like, okay, yeah, sad game for the Skarner. But he has found some stuff, and unfortunately it's not really going to change the way this game goes. Mountain Soul is taken for Gen.G.
Literally 0.
He's got shields still.
How did he get away with that?
He's got more shields now. MT just going to wait in the wings. Think about maybe if he can get a smite steal. As he gets the stun down, there's the impale finally. They do have the damage, but in they go. Ruler just going to chip away at that backline. Henna does get the kill. He does hop away. But here we go. Teleport's now coming on in. They want to get on top of this Tristana. And there it is. They sweep her in. Take her down. Henna going to pick up that kill as Hoya also will eventually be chopped down. And now they're just going to push the top lane. They don't even need any of these buffs. Suppose it was scared to just run at the Baron. They were just like, no, you know, let's just fight them. But either way, they do get what they want in the end. They get the Baron. Here's the Elder Drake being taken right now by Bro. Really going all in on this objective as everybody is just being jumped on. The taunt comes in onto Henna, and huge bouncy castle as even the Emperor's Divide is going to get the job done. Ruler does get taken out at the end, but you'll note that there is no longer a Henna on the Rift either. As a double kill here for BDD.
Sureplate also did considerable amounts of damage in that final fight. And in this final game, it is Gen.G who do what we expect from them.
Insult to injury on that one. BDD going to pick up another kill on the backside of it all. So after 31 minutes and many fights over these objectives, They love to troll here on the fountain, but they're just going to take down the Nexus here at the end.
Showing him off the Drake. Like Drake is at 4k HP, but just Skarner's not going to get through that. BDD, okay.
Yeah.
I see you.
He had a lot of fun fights where he was basically just free hitting, and he survived the whole time, so he just got a lot more done than really any of his other teammates. The Skarner, unfortunately, this is kind of what happens, right? You fall behind, you're not really doing damage anyway as the Skarner.
No, that's not what you're picking for.
Yeah, so
it looks.
Thank you very much, guys. And Gen.G is still on a match winning streak with the first straight win here in the LCK. So in game number 3, Gen.G wanted to go for a very strong lane picks from the get-go. So Bro had to ban out Udyr, so they let Azir open for the hand of Gen.G. So we saw first pick Nidalee, and then Azir was left open, but Bro still picked Orianna for Lava. I think they had this Orianna-Skarner combo from the get-go, but Sion for the first pick was too kind of obvious for Gen.G to deal with. So Volibear was able to have a very easy game because he knew his lane opponent from the beginning of the draft. But this time around, it was Skarner that was in the jungle role for Frederick Brion, so they did not have the same damage output that they had in game number 2. And Gen.G, on the other hand, they had a very strong lane priority from all 3 lanes, and they kind of realized that Rakan was the problem that they were facing in game number 2, so Rakan was banned out instead of Tristana. Now let's take a look at this first replay. A counter jungle play they came out from Clid was really powerful. So Gen.G invaded the enemy jungle because they had strong level 1 champions, so they placed wards around the wolf camp and also around the blue buff camp. So Nidalee started off with the leash from the bottom duo. So, Nidalee had this information that Skarner started at the blue camp, so he rotated to the wolf camp to bully the Skarner in the jungle. Skarner is not a powerful champion in level 2, so he had to run away from Nidalee. And because Rascal and BDD both had a huge priority in the laning phase, Krillid was able to once again go for a counter jungling. He stole away that Raptor and he was even able to take that red buff camp as well with the help coming out from Rascal. And then Rascal went back to lane and Clid was able to get that golden camp as well. So team was forced to play around the bottom side of the map. So they kind of was forced to open fights down on the bottom lane with the help with the bottom duo and Skarner together. But still, Gen.G traded it back really well. It did start off with a kill for Frederick Brion, but then it was traded for 2 kills in the end. And that's the point where Tristana started to kind of fall apart. Because of that minion wave going under the enemy's turret, he was not able to get enough minion and XP and gold. And Clid, his counter jungle play was the critical point that had a huge influence in this game. And Skarner also had this information that Clid was coming in for the invite. So I think Skarner should have just rotated to the red buff camp as soon as he could. And Gen.G made a very kind of smart play, taking away the Baron after Nidalee got cut out. So let's find out how this kind of a rotation was made. It was really smart to see Gen.G making this rotation because actually Skarner was able to take away Nidalee prior to this fight. So after that, team was roaming in the jungle in order to clear out the visions. And he failed to clear out that one ward, and it actually gave Gen.G the information that Skarner found his reset tempo, which means the opponent jungler is far away to come back for this Baron try. And in addition to that, actually Genji was already skilled enough to burst down that Baron as well. So Genji was able to take that easy Baron with some reasoning for that. And Clid was able to pick up the POG once again on this niddly pick. You know, there are some picks that you should not let Genji players to play, and one of those is Clid's niddly. He had this unstoppable game in the opponent side of the jungle. He was controlling the jungle all around the map, and he's really good at the early game setups. His comeback power is really strong, and he knows how to snowball based on those small leads. And Genji really is good at playing around the lane priority and rotating it into the jungle play. And we all know that Clid is really good at this niddly pick. So Clid is also tying up with Rascal on the POG standings. So we have 4 tied up players for the 3rd place here in the LCK POG. And 849 is the votes number for Clid with that performance.